So, this past week, we have gotten some very interesting news from Jack himself on Twitter. And also, this is probably like the 12th or 13th time now redoing this voice recording because of how many times I kind of messed up. And basically, I just basically had to write a whole ass script just for this video. So, yeah. Back on Friday, May 20th, on Discord, Jack has said something about ego content. And the picture on screen says, quote, "I promise I will have more ego content this year." And that was back on Friday last week. It wasn't until 2 days later, May 22nd, we will get more interesting news from Jack. On Twitter, there's a Twitter community that you can join. It's called GSC Twitter. While I have not joined it, but I sometimes check to see what people are talking about. Most of the time, it's memes and people talking about the egos and how much they miss them, or simply tier lists of the egos. Basically, from what I've seen from GSC Twitter. But Jack replied to a tweet on GSC Twitter about Chase. For context, the tweet he was replying to was about Chase Brody, and that user was saying how much they miss him, and I think they even posted alongside that was a Chase edit. But his response to said tweet was, quote, "He'll be back." So that means we'll see Chase sometime soon, which is great because we need more info on Chase and what happened to him since then. Because the last time we saw Chase was in his video when he got teleported from being in the forest to being outside in a parking lot. And that goes for each ego we've seen over the years. Like, we need more info on either ego and the last time we've seen them. I'm gonna go down the list. First, Dr. Schneebelstein. The last time we saw our beloved doctor was back in 2019 in his video where he was doing research on a math equation until he got hypnotized by the vortex that was shown on his computer. Jameson, however, well, for what we know about JJ, was the last time we saw him, he was doing a puppet show until he got possessed halfway through and becomes a puppet himself. Pretty ironic, if you could say. The last time we've seen Marvin was back in 2020, when he was going through his spellbook and figure what's going on with a lot of things. Until the crystal ball showed like some past videos and even the possible future of Marvin himself. Jackie Boyman, however, very little info, but he hasn't made any appearance since like 2016, I believe. Well, unless if you count his second appearance on the channel was during the South Park series. I believe it was another South Park game. In fact, I do remember watching that, and it was quite. I mean, I would rewatch it again, but I'm over here watching a really good Netflix show. By the way, it's called Heartstopper. Have you heard of it? It's great so far, and I'm liking it. But anyways, so we don't have much with Jackie. If I recall, back in Mayhem 2018. I remember Jackie's name being mentioned in one of the videos uploaded back in May 2018, and that was probably the last time we've heard Jackie's name mentioned by name. Basically, I think it was in another Welcome to the Game video. I forgot what timestamp, but I think it's like somewhere like around like 1 minute of the video, I would say. He says along the lines of, "Where's Jackie Boyman when you need him?" or something. Just a casual name drop. Auntie, where do I start with this glitchy son of a bee? Auntie was last seen briefly in Chase's video. I mean, if you count that as his appearance in the video. But since we haven't seen much of Auntie for a long while, and also not to mention, if you also count Dark Silence, which recently the title has gotten changed for some odd reason, I have a video talking about it. Well, quote unquote, a video talking about it. I might link that, or maybe I'll put it up in the iCard, which is probably showing up right now. But yeah, it's that video. But but the thing about that is that Jack decides to change the title of that video 4 years later. And that was back on May 24th, I believe. Back a couple days ago. The time that I'm doing this voice recording. Back a couple days ago, on May 24th, Jack decided to randomly change the title on Dark Silence. So the title used to be called Dark Silence, and now the title is simply called What Do You Want From Me? And yeah, it's a direct quote from what Chase says in the video, towards the end, when he's in the hallway and sees Auntie standing at the end of it. And then that's the quote he says before the unknown fate happens. And now, cut to May 23rd, where Jack would tweet on JSC Twitter about the Egos and why they haven't gotten new content in the last couple of years. So this tweet reads, "In all honesty, I'm sorry for basically abandoning these characters for so long. It got pretty intimidating to do alone. However, I've been working with Turquoise Magpie for the last couple of years, fleshing out the lore, and it's in a good place to start showing people this year." So, this is pretty interesting news regarding that we haven't seen much Ego content in a long while, and also the fact that he mentioned a familiar person within the community. Speaking of Turquoise Magpie, though, where they also talked about this news on Tumblr, they have been answering questions about their reveal, and what kind of has been happening behind the scenes, which I will talk about later. But on their Instagram post, so their Instagram post reads, "So it seems the cat is out of the bag. It's an absolute honor to work with Jacksepticeye and making stories for the Egos we all love and will get to know better. I hope we're able to deliver, and I'm excited for you guys to see where we go next." And that is from Turquoise Magpie on Instagram. It is very surprising to know that a familiar face in the community is working with the man himself, because I usually see Turquoise Magpie's art on Tumblr mostly, but I highly recommend following them on their socials, because their art is just chef's kiss. On Tumblr, however, they have been answering some very important questions about this news. Allow me to show them. So one of the questions was, when will we get Ego content? And their response was, soon. I can't give specific dates, mainly because we have no idea ourselves when stuff will be posted. It's good to guess that most release dates will be significant dates, like the anniversaries of certain videos, the birthdays of some Egos, etc. But then again, as soon as something is finished, we're eager to post immediately. So it could be any day, really. Just keep your eyes open. And that was their response on Tumblr. Some pretty interesting news, and they have shared some interesting info about the Marvin video. Basically, their response to that question was that they had a part in the Marvin video, and that their artwork was shown in Marvin's spellbook, as shown in these images. And that's pretty much what's been happening for the past week with the JSC community and Jack himself. Although this isn't a theory video, but more like a update type of video. I am pretty interested with how the lore with the egos is gonna go because of this news. I know that Yokakune has already talked about this, so I recommend checking out their video talking about this news. But I'm a bit late on talking about this since I have a lot of ideas for edits, and of course with this channel having been turned into a Final Fantasy VII edit channel. But there's still some GSC content in there since I'm kind of going back to my roots with doing GSC content again. But since today is May 26th, as of recording this, and also the script as well, that will be it for this video. Hopefully. I am pretty excited for new content of the egos, but hopefully I'll come out of hibernation whenever there's a fire in the community. But I would like for Jack to take his time with the egos. Just like how I'm taking my time with doing actual videos. But however, I'll see you all whenever I come up with actual ideas for videos. Because in the meantime, I just have a lot of ideas for edits. But in the meantime, enjoy the amount of edits of Reno I have made, even though they're the same clips over and over again. Because I am in need of more Turks content in Remake Part 2. And that it's tiring using the same clips of Reno. This is why I'm sticking to mods to do more edits of Reno. Or perhaps enjoy the JSC Theory playlist that is listed in the iCard. But anyway, I will see you all whenever there's more content of the boys. Because we all miss them, and hope they come home, especially Chase. Anyway, I'll see you all later. I will come out of hibernation for some future theory videos. Depends on motivation to actually edit them though. But yeah, that'll be it for this video for now. Goodbye.